All right, it is time for high flying, high kicking ninja fun. We are going to do a walkthrough of all of the different ninjas currently in the game, which is about 14 of them. One thing I want to say, when I first started this playing ninja, right when the game was released, there was some issue with the ninjas just not doing that much DPS as other characters like the soldier. A lot of those issues have been addressed. And now at the upper levels when I play, usually whoever's playing the ninja has the highest combat score out of the team. And ninjas now are really holding their own in the game without any issues. They still do have, well, they have one issue, which is endurance, which already Epic has said they are looking at for all heroes in the game. And with that, we'll start doing our walkthrough of the various different builds and what I've learned having gone through all the levels of the game dealing with them. We'll hit the bonus first. For her, for edged weapons, you get 35% bonus. So right off the bat, you got a support squad bonus that you can use on any of your ninjas to give you a significant increase in damage, and it's definitely worth having. And as we go through the perks, you're always going to get the reduced fall damage taken, and then from what I've seen, they all get the Mantis Leap, and basically that's just a double jump. The big thing with the Mantis Leap, which makes the reduced fall damage taken by 10% really kind of meaningless, is if you are running off the top of a large building, the second before you hit the ground, you do your double jump, you will take 0 damage from that fall. The one thing though, before you go running off the edge of the building, is to make sure you have enough energy, because this requires 50 energy. And so just make sure you have that, and that is a good way to save yourself fall damage. And now we'll get going with Brawler Luna. I have a real problem with calling a ninja a brawler. Two totally different things, but we're going to skip that for now. All right. She starts off with a Crescent Kick that does a stun. It is great having the Crescent Kick for damage. I am somebody who loves control elements on anything I use, so for me the stun effect is a much bigger thing. Making that whatever you're fighting stun for 3 seconds, and you can do some massive damage on a husk with a ninja during those 3 seconds it's just standing there. And then the Mantis Leap I already mentioned, you get that right away at level 2. Level 5, as I said, one of the big issues with the ninja is energy. So she has at level 5 reduced the energy cost of her Crescent Kick by 15. The Crescent Kick has an energy of 30. So right there you're cutting that attack in half of what it's going to cost you. Moving on to level 8, we get increased damage to edged weapons. And if you recall, that's what she had for a bonus. And with this one, it doesn't say anything about not being able to stack it. So if you have this character twice, you can have that 35% critical damage on there. And then you got this damage at level 8 by 24%. And then you get really what is kind of the key power, key damage dealer for the ninjas is the Dragon Slash. For her, she can do it for 2 tiles, do it massive damage to everything within a half tile. And this is where the ninjas really rack up the kills, is the Dragon Slash. Getting back to the Crescent Kick at level 12, you got Kicking and Screaming, which applies vulnerability to the affected enemies. Same vulnerability you see with the soldiers, and except this is done by a melee attack instead of range. And this increases damage taken from all sources by 40%, which is a significant increase because it's not only your damage but your 3 teammates also, and that lasts for 4 seconds. 15, you get Assassination. So when you're dealing with damage with your sword, it grants 1 stack of assassination. So now you're increasing the damage dealt by swords by 5%, and that lasts for 5 seconds and can stack 5 times. And this is where you start seeing the sword doing much damage than the other edge weapons, which she does have some other bonuses on. 18, you get Quick Kick, so now you're reducing the cooldown of Crescent Kick by 4 seconds, and it is normally a cooldown of 10, so almost half of a reduction there. And then you get Smokebomb. This is another key component on ninjas, not all of them. It is one of those kind of get out of jail free cards that I like using whenever I get in too much trouble. I throw down a Smokebomb. It lasts for 6 seconds, slowing everything down by 30% and dealing some significant damage every second. So smoke bombs is, like I said, a great emergency item to use when you got a little bit too much on you at one time. And then level 25, Pain Mastery. Once again, building on the assassination stacks with your sword, now grants a 3% bonus to crit hits with edge melee weapons. And then finally, level 30, Hot Foot. It converts your Crescent Kick damage to energy damage and increases base damage by 100%. So this is a huge bonus. Remember, your Crescent Kick is going to do a stun on whatever you're doing damage to. Now you're increasing that damage 100%. And having energy damage at higher level is a significant issue because you're going to be constantly dealing with energy husk. So overall, a pretty good ninja to have with a really good bonus on top of her. And then we move on over to the Stonefoot with her bonus being for soldiers. And that just helps out the war cry. And you can check out my video on soldiers to see how this would apply. She starts off with the Smoke Bomb ability I already mentioned. And then at level 2, she gets the Mantis Leap, the double jump. At 5, you reduce the energy cost of the Smoke Bomb by 15, which it starts at 40. Which is a significant amount of energy, so having that reduction is pretty important. Level 8, 5 Winds Cut increases the damage of edged weapons by 24%. And then moving on, you also get Crescent Kick at level 8, which we've already covered. Once again, a kick that does good damage and a 3-second stun. And then you get Shadow Stance. This is a new one. Get it at level 12. After you defeating an enemy with an edge damage, the ninja enters a Shadow Stance for 4 seconds. It makes it difficult to see them, basically a kind of invisibility. And during Shadow Stance, damage resistance is increased by 15%. And Mantis Leap costs 60% less energy. Once again, ninjas tend to have a problem with energy, so anything that reduces energy cost is huge. And you'll see this every once in a while if you see like a sword running through the forest with nothing holding it. That most likely is a ninja using Shadow Stance. Level 15, Kickback, reduces the energy cost of Crescent Kick by 15%. Which is a big deal for the ninja. 18, increasing stun time of the Crescent Kick by 1 second. 1 second doesn't seem that long, but it is a significant increase. And like I said, anything that helps control, I love. You get your throwing stars, so you get a range attack later on. But you're not going to get any of the bonuses you'll be seeing with some of the other ninjas on that. 25, an extra long fuse, so you're increasing the duration of Smoke Bomb, which I already stated, much like the soldier's grenade. It is an excellent way to do damage to something close by, and this one has the control effect on it. And then 30, double impact, so this doubles the impact of a Crescent Kick. So once again, more likely to knock down your opponent, which gives you some additional control. So outstanding on her. And then we move on to Skim Asure. Bonuses on him at Caffeine High, which all of us enjoy from time to time. And as I repeatedly stated, with ninjas, energy is an issue. This guy allows you to regenerate that energy 12% faster, and that increases as he goes up in level. So even if you're not playing this ninja, he's a good one to keep around to put into your squad. He starts off right away with the throwing stars. Good item for range damage. Mantis Leap doing his double jump. And then we start adding on to his throwing stars. So first we're going to reduce the energy by 15, which the throwing stars take 30, so you're reducing it in half. Then you move on to Cascade. Now you're throwing an additional throwing star. So before you had 3, now you're up to 4. And then he gets his Dragon Slash ability. So his first ability that's being focused on is his range attack with throwing stars. And now he has an up-close attack with the Dragon Slash. And then you get an increase at level 12 to the length of the Dragon Slash. This is a big item. Dragon Slash, as I said, does massive damage to, can be an entire swarm of creatures coming at you, and you can take them out. And increasing that tile by 1 is a significant increase into kills and damage. 15, Rain of Death. Now you're doing the ninja throw, 1 additional throwing star on the second toss. So you started with 3 and now you're up to 5. And then once again, you're reducing energy cost on Dragon Slash by 15. Dragon Slash costs 50, which is a huge cost of energy. I've gotten myself in trouble a lot of times because I get myself in the perfect spot to do a Dragon Slash and take out the enemies, and I don't have the energy for it, and then things turn bad really fast. They do get the Crescent Kick also at 18, and then goes back to enhancing the throwing stars at level 25. So you get throwing stars can now pierce up to 3 different targets, which is a great thing to be able to do. A lot of times with the ninja, what you're trying to do is line up. Basically, you want them either running straight at you or chasing after you, so you can get them all in a nice, neat line, and then you got your choice. You can turn around, do the Dragon Slash, and take them out with your melee weapon, or you can do your throwing stars. And then finally, you got Tail of the Dragon. A Dragon Slash leaves a persistent trail of energy, damaging for 10.5% of Dragon Slash damage every half second for 3 seconds, and it also slows the enemies by 30%. That is huge. And I know people who play with these powers on their ninja, they love things like the encampments where you just have a ton of husks coming at you all at one time, and they can just go slashing through, and yeah, they just definitely out damaging everybody else out there. So we'll head on back to the Poisoner. Alright, on his perks for support, you increase your edge weapon damage by 10%, once again going up as you level it up. And then for tactical, you get corrosion. So crit hits from your melee weapons deal 15% hit damage every second for 3 seconds while reducing movement speed by 30%. This is on all melee weapons. So if you watch my our video, there's some constructors out there that are really strong with blunt weapons. You can add this on, and now you got a controlling perk that's reducing their movement speed, and also you're doing some more damage. And also on your ninja, one thing, and I'll get to it in a bit here, sometimes these bonuses, they state on the bonus whether they stack with the same item that a character will have on their perks, and sometimes it's listed in the perks, and we'll see that later. This does not stack with itself on other characters. But getting in this, he starts right away with the range attack, the throwing stars, and then he enhances that with corrosive stars. So now the throwing stars afflict their targets, doing 25% more damage every 3 seconds for 6 seconds, and they can stack that up 3 times. Rapid fire at 8. Now you're reducing the cooling down of throwing stars by 3 seconds. One thing you got to watch on the ninja, if you're reducing the time between doing it, that's great. But you're not reducing the energy, at least not yet. So it's still going to take another 30 energy. So you got to be a little bit careful with that. And then also at level 8 you get the Crescent Kick, once again doing really good damage, good impact, and stunning for 3 seconds. Then doing the assassination. Now your sword grants 1 stack assassination. You've already seen this, it lasts 5 seconds and stacks 5 times. And 15, you're increasing your edge weapons to hit or crit hit chance by 20%. And then Cascade at 18, once again you're increasing the rate of your ninja stars, which are now, you have 1 more that goes out on top of doing the corrosive damage on those stars. And then at 18 they finally get the Dragon Slash, which we've talked to quite a bit. 25 we get Pain Mastery, so now your assassination stacks grant additional 3% bonus per stack to crit hits with your edge melee weapons. And then finally you get Corrosive Blade. Crit hits from the ninja's edge weapons deals 30% of hit damage over time while reducing movement speed. And as I was mentioning before, if you also have Smoke Assassin, Corrosive Blade will not take precedence where it can. The damage of Smoke Assassin and Corrosive Blade will not combine. So definitely read through your items so you're not wasting your support heroes. And then we get to Dragon. On Dragon, his bonus is for constructors, specifically for Bull Rush. And it just puts affliction on their targets for 30% extra damage per second for 3 seconds. But getting back into the ninja perks, right away at level 2 he has his Dragon Slash. And then level 5 you're reducing the energy of that Dragon Slash from 15. So it starts at 50 and now you're knocking it down to 35. And then you're increasing the length of the tile by 1. Already at level 8, and this is just a massive damage dealer. Then you get the throwing stars, so you do have a range attack. At 12 you get Shadow Stance, which I mentioned before. Anytime you defeat an enemy with an edged weapon, you enter a stance for 4 seconds and you get damage resistance and you become harder to see. And your Manus Leap costs 60% less energy, meaning you can jump out of there faster. And I think I messed up on the one I said earlier. I think I was talking about the kick. Here, Shrouded Dragon, the Dragon Slash now activates your Shadow Stance. This is a great thing because when you use your Dragon Slash, you're running into a group of enemy doing a massive attack. Now, if anything survives, you got your Shadow Stance giving you some defense that you need so you aren't taking damage from those husks right away. 18, Shadowier Stance. Increases the damage resistance now to 15%. Smokebomb, once again, this is a great tool to have. I would say it's probably the second best thing to have after the Dragon Slash. And you can once again use this just to throw a smoke bomb at the ground, and sorry, it slows all targets by 30% and deals some damage. Legendary Blade, now you're doing 35% more sword damage while in Shadow Stance. And remember, the Shadow Stance is going to automatically activate every time you use the Dragon Slash. So that's a great combination with a perk. And then finally, the Breath of the Dragon. The Dragon Slash has double its area of effect, additionally increasing the damage of Dragon Slash by 50%. So yeah, this thing can just do massive damage with large groups of husks. Heading on over to Fleetfoot. On bonuses, every time you kill a husk with a melee attack, you increase your movement speed by 30% for 3 seconds. It's a nice thing to have. Just depends on how you use your heroes in Fortnite. I mainly do all range damage, but if you like to get in there and mix it up, not too bad. All right, and he starts off too with Fleet. So right away, you're increasing your movement speed by 12%. To me, that's actually a big deal because in Fortnite, you are constantly running around gathering, running around killing mobs, and one of the main tactics in killing mobs is kiting them. So any increase in movement speed, I really enjoy. You get your Dragon Slash early on at 5, not as fast as the Dragon Ninja, but still pretty early. And then 8, you get reduced fall damage by 40%. But once again, once you learn how to use your Mantis Leap, your double jump, you really don't have to worry about that too much. Then you get your range attack with throwing stars. And 12, you get Assassination, which we've gone over before, which is just increasing your sword damage. And then this is a new one, 15, Long Sand, increasing the duration of Assassination by 6 seconds. Once again, putting some significant more damage on your sword when you're using it. 18, 3 Mantis Style, reducing energy costs of Mantis Leap by 50%, which is actually a pretty nice thing. I love using Mantis Leap, but it does drain your energy extremely fast. Smokebomb, always a good thing to have on a ninja. This one isn't going to have any of the additional perks though. Level 25, Stacks of Assassination provide 3% movement speed in addition to bonus damage. So once again, increasing your sword damage and increasing your movement. And then Tail of the Dragon, level 30, Dragon Slash leaves a persistent trail of energy. We've seen this before, so you're doing more damage and you're slowing enemies. This is a great, fun ninja to play. I have them. I've had a lot of fun playing them, and definitely recommend them, mainly if you're somebody whose speed is really an important thing. You like just the fun of moving around fast and getting to where you need to faster. All right. On her, we have the bonus of Quick Shield, so your shield regenerates faster. And that's always a nice one to have, kind of an average. Right away, she gets Smoke Bomb, which, as I've stated before, is one of my favorite ninja items to have. And then she moves into a new one, Utility Belt at level 5, which reduces the cooldown of Smoke Bomb by 40 seconds. And then 8, she reduces the energy cost of Smoke Bomb, which by 15, an energy bomb is 40. So it is a good thing to have, because if you're reducing the cooldown of Smoke Bomb, you're going to be using it more often. If you're using it more often, you want to reduce the energy costs. So it's definitely a good thing to have both of those. Level 8, she's also getting throwing stars. Shadow Stance is a great item to have on your ninja, and we've already gone through that. Up in Smoke, number 15, using a Smoke Bomb, move 30% more quickly for 15 seconds. That's actually a long time to have a speed boost. And also, you will see people just throwing down a Smoke Bomb when there isn't even mobs around, just to get that 15 second bonus to speed. 18, Now You See Me. The ninja uses distracting effects of Smoke Bomb to enter Shadow Stance. And you've seen this before where Dragon Slash will give you the Shadow Stance. Well, now you have it with Smoke Bomb. Once again, the most often use of Smoke Bomb is as a defensive tactic. And Shadow Stance is a great thing to have if that's what you're worried about at that moment in time. Then she finally at level 18 gets Dragon Slash, but she won't be getting any of the additional perks you saw in some of the earlier ones. At level 25, her Shadow Stance continually recharges the ninja shield at 20% of its usual rate. So once again, really strong defensive focus, with this increasing her shield regeneration. And then finally at 30, increase the duration of Smokebomb Persist Cloud Effect by 5 seconds, which is a long addition to it. Which is really a great thing for when you're defending a target. You know what the husks are trying to get to, so you throw down your smoke bomb and just let the mobs walk right into it. All right, Assassin. For the Assassin bonus, increasing max energy. You've heard me talk a lot about that, so definitely a good thing, mainly on other ninjas. She starts off with the throwing stars. And then at level 5, reduce sword combo attack energy cost by 60%. That is a huge decrease of energy. Great thing to have. Level 8, Praying Mantis. The ninja can leap higher, increasing the effectiveness of Mantis Leap. I love running and jumping around, so I do love having that little bit of extra jump on there. And she gets Dragon Slash kind of at a medium time for ninjas at level 8. And then Assassination at 12. Once again, focusing on the sword, increasing sword damage by 5%. And then level 15, we saw this increase before, also increasing the duration of Assassination by 6 seconds. 18, Easier Sword. I think this is the first time we saw that. Improves the energy cost reduction of Easy Sword by another 20%. So once again, really getting that energy down to make your ninja much better in combat, being able to use all her powers. Okay, whoops. All right, also at level 18, you're getting the Smoke Bomb power. Great defensive tool. And level 25, Pain Mastery. Your assassination stacks now grant a 3% bonus per stack. So once again, you're doing more damage with your sword. You have a bunch of perks for reducing the energy on your sword attacks. And then finally, Corrosive Blade, where your crit hits from your edged weapons deal 30% hit damage over time while reducing movement speed. And once again, if you have the Smoke Assassin, Corrosive Blade will not take precedence when it can. So a good ninja to have with a lot of energy reduction on it. Shuriken Master. Pretty easy what the focus of this one's going to be. Let's take a look at her bonuses first, though. For support, you got to increase in all ability damage by 10%. Decent thing to have. Tactical is for Outlanders, where your anti-material charge slows enemy movements by 30% for 7 seconds. Nothing too critical there, but as her name implies, right off the bat, she has her throwing stars. At level 5, Rapid Fire, now the cooldown is decreased. At level 8, you get an additional throwing star going from 3 up to 4. And then at 8, she also gets her Smoke Bomb as a defensive capability. And also doing actually pretty good offensive capability when I think about it. And then 12, Train Throw. So now you're reducing the energy cost of the throwing stars by 15. Which I talked about how critical that was before, mainly when you're reducing the time of throwing them. Rain of Death, now the ninja throws 1 additional throwing star on the second toss. 18, Corrosive Stars. Throwing stars afflict their targets, doing 25% of throwing star damage every 3 seconds for 6 seconds. This effect can stack 3 times. I love any kind of affliction or afflict damage. So this is definitely increasing your range attack. She does have Dragon Slash at level 18, which is a good thing to have, but she isn't going to have any additional perks on it. And then at 25, Ninja throws 2 additional throwing stars, throwing pattern. So now she is up to 7 Ninja throwing stars. And then finally at level 30, throwing stars pierce through up to 3 targets. So she is really focused on that one area of throwing stars. It's a little different. Most people, if they want to play a range DPS, they really focus on playing soldiers. But this is one case where the Ninja kind of switches over from being mainly focused on melee to a range attacker. And then we get the Mythic. Alright, bonuses on him. Increases damage of edged weapons by 12%, which goes up as you level them up. And then his tactical shockwave boosts movement speed by 35% for 4 seconds. So obviously that's for soldier. When you do your shockwave, you're going to get a huge movement speed bonus to it, which a movement increase by 35%. That is a lot. It's only for 4 seconds, but still it helps make that shockwave power to me a little bit more useful. As I stated in the soldier video, I kind of find it only a so-so ability on the soldier. But we'll start off with him on the Smokebomb ability. I mainly use it as a defensive ability, but it's a defensive ability that also reduces enemy speed and does damage to them. So good thing to have. He also has the Fleet, increasing movement speed by 12%. A huge thing in this game. And then 8, 5 winds cut, increase damage of your edged weapons by 24%. He gets his throwing stars also at 8, and then gets his shadow stance at 12. Once again, a very strong defensive capability. Assassin, now he's getting increased damage with his sword. At level 18, you're increasing the duration of the assassination ability by 6 seconds. And then you get your Dragon Slash, which usually if you're doing the Dragon Slash, you're using your sword and melee attack. So the assassin abilities definitely feed into that, increasing that damage. And then you get Legendary Blade, doing an additional 35% sword damage while Shadow Stance is active. And then at level 30, you increase your sword damage of Legendary Blade by additional 35% while Shadow Stance is activated. So when you're in Shadow Stance, this guy is absolutely doing a devastating amount of damage with his sword. Very good character to have. Take a quick look at event. We'll get in her. She is Deadly Blade. Bonuses, and that is one thing when they have the events. If you see heroes that you're really all not interested in, make sure you check the bonuses, because there are some great bonuses that only appear on heroes in special events. They don't appear on the normal heroes you can get day to day, so always double check those. On her, she has increased the edge weapons. And she also has, for tactical, the corrosion, which does a ton more damage on melee weapons. A great bonus to have on one of your heroes. Going through here, starts off with the throwing stars. And then at level 5, she gets the corrosive effect, giving them a more afflict damage over time. And then she gets rapid throwing. So she reduces the cooldown time of throwing stars, so she can use them more often. Crescent Kick, now we're bringing this back. Haven't seen it for a little bit, which actually is a great attack, good damage, good impact, but that stun for 3 seconds is really helpful. And then you get the assassination, doing more sword damage for a short period of time. And then anatomy lessons. Once again, you're increasing your edge melee weapons damage by 20%. Cascade, now you're throwing one more throwing star. And then you get your Dragon Slash at level 18. I hate waiting 18 levels to get Dragon Slash, but once you get it, you will love it. Level 25 Pain Mastery. Now your assassination stacks now grant 3% bonus per stack to crit hits with edged weapons. And once again, while the Dragon Slash itself is not getting additional perks to help it out, the Dragon Slash, chances are you're using your sword to do the attack, so everything that helps with the assassination attack is a stack onto the Dragon Slash. And then she gets the Corrosive Blade ability on her crit hits from the ninja's edge weapons, dealing 30% hit damage over time and reducing movement speed on target 30%. So overall, the one they have in this special event right now is a good ninja to grab if you can. Going down to Scavengers, we get Energy Thief Merit. Now, a lot of people, as I've already mentioned, were having a lot of issues with energy with their ninjas, and sure enough, Fortnite actually heard us complaining, and suddenly the Energy Thief came out. Her bonus is steals 5 energy every 4 melee strikes against an enemy. And it works with all melee weapons. So while this character mostly was focused towards the ninja community, it can also be used with like your constructor who has some of them have focus on blunt melee weapons. But this is a huge bonus to have if they ever bring her back out. Definitely grab her as fast as you can, if for nothing else than just the bonus. Crescent Kick, I already told you how much I like that. Great thing to have. And then we get into Vigorous Blade. Once again, stealing 5 energy every 4 sword attacks when attacking an enemy. Gathering all that energy up just makes a world of difference. Mainly if you are running a ninja and you like running around all the time, just running around eats up your energy. So now every attack, every 4 attacks, you're getting some more energy back. Just like the soldier gets their get their health regenerated using range attacks. They have that perk on a few of the soldiers. Now we have the energy one on the ninjas. Level 8 reduces sword combo attack energy cost by 60%. That's a huge reduction in energy. And then you get the Dragon Slash. Get it at level 8, which is a nice level to be getting that at. You get Assassination. We've already gone through this a bunch of times, just dealing more damage with your sword. Kicking and Screaming. Now your Crescent Kick applies vulnerability to affected enemies, increasing damage taken from all sources by 40%. This is a huge bonus when you're fighting mist monsters and fighting Husky Husk. They just have a massive amount of hit points, and this can help take them down really fast. 18, Return of the Dragon, reduces energy cost of Dragon Slash by 15. Smokebomb, a great little thing to have for on the defensive side. Pretty much everything else here is by increasing damage and reducing energy. Now you got the Smokebomb as a get out of jail free card. Level 25 Rebound. Now your Crescent Kick will return 5 energy for every enemy hit by it. So once again, you're loading up that energy, making your ninja much, much more viable as an extremely high DPS character, and you finish it off at level 30 with your Dragon Slash. Has double its area effect, additionally increasing the damage of Dragon Slash by 50%. So once again, just doing much, much more damage, and she, without a doubt, will be having the energy to keep going throughout the whole thing. Now we go to two ninjas. One seems to be one of the key favorites everybody loves, and the other one I hardly see anybody use. So we'll start with Sarah Hopetet on her bonus, and this is obviously a Halloween themed ninja. So hopefully she will be back come around October of next year, but we'll see. Her bonus, not really all that great. Definitely not helping ninjas. It's for constructors, and it's Bull Rush, afflict damage. You've already seen it before. All right, she starts off right away with Dragon Slash. Great thing. So as soon as you begin this character, you're ready to go out there and start dealing some massive damage. Level 5 reduces the energy cost of Dragon Slash by 15%. Another great thing early on. And at level 8, you're increasing the length of Dragon Slash. So early on in the game, this ninja is just absolutely deadly. She does also get her throwing stars at level 8. And then at level 12, she gets Shadow Stance. So after defeating an enemy with the edged damage, the ninja enters a Shadow Stance. You're going to be doing that all the time, so that is a really good bonus to have in order to get that those additional defenses, and reducing damage by 15% and reducing your double jump by 60%. So you get to kill something and then you get to jump out of there really fast. Shrouded Dragon at level 15 now activates Shadow Stance. So once again, you're doing this massive damage to a group of husks with your Dragon Slash, and the second it's done, you're getting reduced damage to you, and you can do your Mana Sleep to get the heck out of there. Level 18 is going to increase your damage resistance while in Shadow Stance. 18 also gives you your Smokebomb, once again as a nice little defensive measure to have when you get in a little bit over your head. Level 25, you're doing an additional 35% sword damage while in Shadow Stance. And that is a great thing to have because, like I said before, when you do the Dragon Slash, you go through the mobs, you're instantly hitting Shadow Stance. Now, if anything is left standing, like the Husky Husk or whatever, you can head over and just start waylaying on them with 35% more damage. And also your Dragon Slash has doubled its area effect. And that is probably the key reason this thing is loved so much by so many people. Anytime you can get this Breath of the Dragon ability, you can just do massive damage to waves and waves of Husk. So I can definitely see why I see so many people running around with her all the time. And this one seems to be just a carbon copy with a different skin for the Throwing Star Master, Shuriken Master. Bonus on him, though, increases all ability damage 10 and pressure points. Okay, so it looks like the same bonuses. And I'm not going to bore you by going through every single one, but because we already did on the other one. But once again, this is just giving you massive, rapid-fire, low-energy throwing stars. And like I said, I've hardly ever seen anybody playing this character. He definitely stands out, though. He has the most unique look of any ninja out there. And then we go to the last and final one, Sarah Claus. Alright, looking at bonus. Every fourth hit with a melee weapon restores base health. Yeah, definitely for a ninja, this is a great thing to have. So even if you don't like this character, go ahead and grab her because you may want her. Once again, there is a lot of support squad bonuses out there that help ninjas. There's very few tactical squad bonuses. So that is a great thing to have. She starts off right away with a Smokebomb. Good thing to have for defense. And then at 5th, Same as her bonus, every 4th hit with a sword restores some health. At 8th, you got your Shadow Stance. It is another good defensive perk to have. And then you get your Throwing Stars, so now you got some range attacks you can do. At level 12, we got a new one we haven't seen before. Medicine Fumes. Smokebomb now heals allies who enter the affected area, restoring 3 base health every second. That's not a huge bonus to health, but any bonus to health is a great thing to have. So definitely a good thing. And since she can also throw down the Smokebomb anytime, whether she's attacking or not attacking, this is a nice little perk that I hadn't seen before, and really wish people would use more on my character when I'm running with them. Alright, Shadowier Stance, we've seen this. Increased damage resistance from Shadow Stance. At 18, your Throwing Stars now do the Corrosive, doing more damage on them every 3 seconds for 6 seconds, and you can stack it. 18, you finally get the Dragon Slash, which is the main damage dealer most Ninja Warriors want. And 25, Extra Long Fuse. So now the duration of Smokebomb persists longer, and since you had up here the fumes that restore 3 base health every second, so not only are you doing more damage when using the Smokebomb because it lasts longer, you're now doing more healing to your allies. And then she has the Corrosive Blade, which is a great item to have. Once again, it doesn't stack with the Corrosive Blade power bonus perk, so watch out for that. But overall, this is a great one with a really unique bonus that is definitely good to grab. And that is all the ninjas that are currently out in this game. Definitely give Ninja a try, learn how to use the Ninja, and then it will help you a lot, even playing your own hero when you're teaming up with other people. But thank you for listening to all of this, and look forward to playing with y'all.